Hello, my name is Claudia Perez, and this is the video for class 546. Based on my understanding of a Christian worldview, the way I will define psychopathology is as the illness of the soul. I said this because if we go and dissect the Word of God, we will find in the Bible lots of evidence and even things that Jesus said about sin and about mental illness. In Mark 7:20-22, Jesus himself said that whatever comes from the heart of man is what defiles him and dishonors him. And he went ahead and did a list of malevolent thoughts, schemes, acts of sexual immorality, theft, murders, adulteries, act of greed, weakness, deceit, unrestrained conduct, envy, jealousy, profanity, arrogance, self-righteousness, and foolishness, which is poor judgment. As Christian counselors, we can see the relation between these behaviors that Jesus said and the description of certain mental illness. That's how psychopathology it is really described in the Bible. Paul says in 2 Corinthians 12:7-8 that he had asked the Lord to take the thorn in his flesh 3 times. We don't know what it was. We don't know what he meant with that thorn, but probably it was a mental illness, as some scholars said. Also, in verse 9, he says that Jesus responded that his grace is sufficient. His grace is enough. So I do believe that answers are in the Bible, are part of this mental illness. Mental illness have a lot to do with spiritual illness. It is difficult to understand mental illness for those who have not experienced that. And even in the kingdom, even at the church, there's a stigma about it, and it's a subject that sometimes is a little bit of taboo. I found in the book Religion, Spirituality, and Mental Health from Marston, written by Marston, Manus, and Bruga, some aspects to consider. The authors remind us that according to the Bible, mental illness is not the fault of those who are suffering of this anguish. They have done certain things, sins that maybe that have exacerbated the mental illness, but it's not a punishment from the Lord, and there's cure, and that's what we can do as we integrate body, mind, and spirit. The other aspect in the book is that God is with us. God is the promise. He's our healer. He's the strong tower, as the word says, the refuge in storms. And those storms sometimes come as a way of mental illness. The Bible is not afraid about talking mental illness. We see it in the book of Jacob, in the book of Job. We see it in the book of Lamentations, in some Psalms as well. Much of what we can call mental illness is a spiritual component, and if it's not addressed the right way, the person cannot be healed. And I do personally believe in that, and I've seen it. Humans have a spirit, and we have been created in the image of God. So when we disconnect ourselves from our spirit, from the Spirit of God, we are having an emptiness in our soul, and then there are some other problems in our behavior, in the way we relate with others, or even with ourselves. The book Modern Psychopathologist talks about spiritual illness as part of this mental illness, as I said before. Although Jesus healed people who were considered mentally ill, he also cast out demons, and he was clear about what he was doing. Now, the secular view about abnormality, mental illness is generally considered to be a disorder that affects mood, thinking, and behavior. If we see it, that is written in the Bible as well. The mood, the thinking, and the behavior. The book of Proverbs says that whatever we think is where our heart is where we are going. The term mental illness encompasses a wide range of disorders from mild depression to schizophrenia. Mental illness, according to the secular world, it is a condition that impairs a person's ability to think, to feel, process, and respond to life situations appropriately. Some medical professionals are not even sure exactly the origin of mental illness. As Christian counselors, I believe that we need to have compassion, not just for the people who have physical illness, but also for the ones with mental illness. We should not judge also why they are ill, what is going on in their life, but instead we need to be the light and pray for them. We have many tools to treat mental illness, including medication, psychiatrists, community support, information, and also prayer. We must be careful to do not neglect the spiritual aspect of mental illness. Thank you.